Welcome to the Todd Atkins Network. Subscribe now for exclusive content. Follow us for the latest updates. Welcome to the RIZIN Report. I'm Jay Wolf with the latest MMA news from Japan. If you're a fan of MMA, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and comment below.
Boom. All right, this is Todd Atkins, and I'm here with Jay Wolf and Mr. Ohio, who both did the previous show getting ready for this event, which was RIZIN54. And as usual, I prefer to let these guys kind of talk the show because they're kind of more experts on Japanese MMA than me at this point. Had it been like early 2000s, I think I could have hung with them, but at this point now, I just kind of let them do the thing. So I'm going to I assume Jay Wolf will start. And he likes to do the whole card, so he's just going to, however he chooses to go, top to bottom or bottom to top. Take it away.
Oh, thanks, brother. Appreciate being on here on the Todd Atkins Network. This is the RIZIN Report for the epic RIZIN54 that just happened 2 weeks ago. And, man, what a sensational show this was. One of the best of the year, if not the best of the year. I mean, pretty much – people were giving it like an 8 or 9. I think it was on par with Landmark 15. People were hating on that one because it was in the cage. But that one, remember, that one had the hat trick of ground and knee finishes, and it was cherried by Danny Sabatello doing a one-punch-man knockout, which was sensational. This event had an 80% finish. There was only 2 decisions on this card. Everything else was a finish. Sensational finishes, top to bottom. It's just incredible. And it met all of Todd's criteria. We had Japanese fighters matching up with good international guys. So we got to see how that played out. And in the main event, we had the epic RIZIN Prince Akimoto versus a top contender, Clever Koike. And that one, we'll save that for later on the show. I think, what do you guys think? Think we should go bottom to top from the start of the pre?
Let's go bottom to top.
Okay, that's what we'll do then.
Why people would hate on it being in the cage. The format's the format. If they choose to do it, they choose to do it. Who cares?
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the cage or the ring? Well, it's because there's it's because they're ring purists. They love the ring. Yeah. And they're scared that RIZIN's going to go away from the ring. I keep trying to tell them it's not going to happen. RIZIN's going to stay with the ring. Don't worry about it. But it's really cool that we have cage events as well. I love the cage events.
A different flavor.
And if they're choosing to do a hybrid, then let them. That's what they want to do.
Yeah, and it's cool. I think it works out cool because we got this year. We're going to get about even a mix. They're actually going to get one more ring event, but we got about 5 ring events and 4 cage events. So I think it evens out pretty good.
Yeah, was it Landmark 16 in Nagasaki in October, I believe it is?
Yes, that one got changed to a ring event. Or no, it was a November one that got
changed because it's in
I think my theory of that is because of the heavyweight Grand Prix, since it was on 54 right here. We'll talk about that later. But since the final is going to be in November, I think they switched it to a ring event to keep it consistent with that. That's just one of my theories of why they switched it. But anyway, just
on the RIZIN because they got to prepare for both. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things they said about the cage is it prepares them for go international. For people that come, internet collaboration bouts, everything. So it's pretty cool. Now I want to get the overall. No, we're going to go through the card here. We also got to talk about 2 massive pieces of information that we're dominating for the past week and a half, which is one is Tapology trying to change the result of the main event to make it so that Patchy Mix, or not the main event, excuse me, the co-main event to make it that Patchy Mix actually won on the judges' scorecard when he didn't. We'll get into that later. And then the other one is that RIZIN is moving from Unix to strictly Abeema exclusive, Abeema TV's pay-per-view exclusive for the Japanese audience. That was massive on Japanese MMA. We'll get into that briefly later on in the show.
So first off, now and get it over with.
You want to do it now and get it over with?
Talk about the significance of it. You two guys kind of talk about the significance.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll get into that right now. So how about we say the Tapology thing for later on in the show when we get to the co-main event with Patchy Mix. Then we'll talk about it all in one. But right now we'll get into the Abeema portion of it. But first, Mike, I want your overall thoughts about the card, and then we'll do the Abeema thing. I mean, you already. Go ahead.
I was going to say this card, as you said, was exceptional. Extremely entertaining. RIZIN got, for the most part, the results that it needed, which was very nice. It crowned Akimoto, I thought, as for real, as if he wasn't already after beating Patchy Mix the way he did. Joji Goto looked awesome. Yuki Ito as well. I thought overall this was, as you said, 8 finishes, 2 decisions, and a sold-out crowd, I believe. It was a great event. It looked world-class. The fighters were world-class. And I just feel that overall, this was a huge success for the promotion.
100%.
I don't think there's much more I can say about it, but
no, that's good. That's perfect. Yeah, just want a general overall of the 54 card. That was great. So now let's get into the Abeema thing. So what this is that Unix. Remember, RIZIN is on a bunch of different platforms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for us international fans, it's RIZIN.TV. If you haven't seen it, go get the replay right now. It's available. It's awesome. RIZIN54. I would recommend getting the subscription. It's only $16.99. They got an event every single month for the rest of the year. It's totally worth it. You know, next event is the big Super RIZIN 5 event. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit before we end the show, because that and New Year's Eve is going to be the biggest cards of the year. So it's going to be awesome. But anyways, yeah, exactly. And yeah, dome shows, massive 50,000 plus crowd. You know, it's going to be incredible. But the platform for international fans is RIZIN.TV. Now, for Japanese fans, it was a bunch of different platforms. There was Abeema, there was Unext, there was RIZIN Live, which
I thought RIZIN Live was still go. I thought RIZIN Live was still on. They were still.
It is. Okay. It is. And then RIZIN 100 Club, a special, discounted pay-per-view for them. And then there's one other one. I forget what it is right now. But
TV.
What was it?
Sky Perfect TV.
Oh, maybe that was it. So, okay. But one of the big ones that they had was Unext, which packages a bunch of different promotions, including UFC, and they can, and one championship, all that stuff. So, and they get points for that they can save up to use for free shows. Mm-hmm. So, and so what RIZIN has done, they got paid a bunch of money. We don't know what it is, but I guarantee you it was not for free. That for exclusivity to Abeema TV paid for exclusivity to RIZIN events, for RIZIN pay-per-views. So now they're no longer on Unext. Mm-hmm. And so now all the fans are bitching and moaning and being butthurt because now they can't use their points. Now they have to get it.
It's just not going to be for RIZIN.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, what I was seeing on my personal timeline of fans that I like to follow, Japanese MMA fans, I was seeing that a lot of them were saying that, hey, they had saved up points to use for Super RIZIN 5 specifically. So, and that to me, that's kind of one of the things that I'm guessing Abeema TV paid so much money for, was to get the rights. They wanted exclusive rights just for the Super RIZIN 5 card, and of course New Year's Eve.
And for RIZIN going forward, because RIZIN is very popular there right now.
Yes.
So yes. I don't. Do we there? Just so I can confirm, there is, because I didn't see this. Maybe you know better than I do. There is not a confirmed amount of money.
No, we do not know for sure how much money was Abeema paid for exclusivity, but I can guarantee you it is not for free. They didn't just. It's not like the PFL buying Bellator for stock options or whatever the heck it was, right, Todd? No, this was definitely a monetary transaction. We don't know for how much, and we don't know for how long yet. They have not revealed those details yet. I'm assuming it's multi-year, and it depends on how many years. If it's like isn't it in the U.S. and international? Isn't it like a 7-year, like ESPN and stuff like that? Wasn't it like a 7-year term?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's something similar to that, 5 to 7 years, I'm guessing they made millions of dollars. If it's under 5 years,
depending on the yen, because of the devalued yen right now.
Okay, well, if it's under 5 years, I'm guessing it's in the hundreds of thousands. If it's only like a year or two, then I'm guessing hundreds of thousands at the max. So, but still,
Bottom line, it's worth it.
Yeah. Bottom line is it's worth it. They got paid a boatload of money. Any way you cut it, any way you slice it, they got paid for this. And this is exclusivity for Abeema. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
go
ahead. What?
I was going to say two things. One, if people are pissed about it, they can vote with their wallets and not order the show. That's one. And two, RIZIN, do not price out your fans.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
About it. Let's you guys give me the pros and cons of
okay,
this,
because on Unix, like I was saying, Unix had UFC 1 championship, knockout, a bunch of different promotions that fans liked, and by watching those, they could save up points to use to get a free show. So, and also it was a subscription. So I'm unclear if it was a subscription. I think they had to pay a little bit extra, or I'm not clear yet if it was a total pay-per-view price
and a pay-per-view. I think that's what it may have been.
Well, was it a small extra fee for the pay-per-view, or was it a full pay-per-view price?
I think it was full pay-per-view. I think it was essentially what ESPN Plus was until the UFC went to Paramount Plus earlier this year. I think that's what it was.
Okay. And we also have yet to see what Abeema's new price point is going to be. That was another big question: is what's going to happen. Like, I'm sure we'll find out pretty soon. I mean, it's got to be coming in the next couple of weeks here. As I'm sure we'll know by the preview for Super RIZIN 5 in the next week or two. And we're going to see if it's a subscription and pay-per-view price, or if it's just a pay-per-view price for Abeema. Because on Unext it was subscription and pay-per-view.
I believe that's what it was. Don't quote me on that, but if it was like what UFC was on ESPN Plus, then that would make sense because they're not gonna just pay what $10 for and a Beam and a Unext monthly fee for a RIZIN pay-per-view. I doubt that severely.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Especially when sites like RIZIN Live, which go ahead, Todd.
Do we know the numbers of one platform versus the other? Who watches
and I don't
more?
know.
No, that I do not know
That'd
either.
Be interesting to know.
Yeah. And also Abeema has King K1 kickboxing, so that's a pro there, and they could be courting other promotions over to them with this move to get RIZIN exclusive. So we'll see.
The reason I'm thinking along those lines is I forgot what my memory's crap now, but I used to watch. There was one channel. I wonder if it was Abeema. I forgot that had all the promotions on it. And anyway, the people who watch MMA, if they're all there, or combat sports, and they're all there because all those promotions are there, can they pull them over to this one?
Yes, that's what we're going to see.
That's something I'm curious about.
That's what we're going to
depends on how long the rights are for, like, say, shoot boxing, or I think Deep's on Unext as well.
For now, yes, but rumors are they're going to court away Deep. They're going to court away Knockout. They're going to court away maybe, I don't know, Pancrase, or I don't know. So we'll see. But I mean, Abeema has K1 kickboxing and Rise kickboxing. Yes. So the top kickboxing.
And if I remember correctly, didn't in the press release or whatever it was, Sakakibara mentioned that there would be programs, like certain programs to help RIZIN find their next stars, their future?
Yes. But he didn't specify it. I was curious if he was talking about the Koshi tournaments. That's their youngster tournaments.
The impression I got of it was like, I think it was something that K1 did a few years, or not, whatever promotion it was, where they would have, they were trained by a certain fighter, and then they would get an opportunity if they won a tournament or something, or a reality show of some kind.
Yeah, so that's when they said tournament. Like, I don't know, because when the Google Translate, tournament means like fighting or bouts or whatever in Japanese. So, who knows? They're talking. That's what I was saying. I don't know if they're talking about the Koshien tournament or something totally separate. Mm-hmm. And the Koshien tournament is where they get the youngsters. And they have like a massive tournament, and then they declare a winner, and the winner fights. Oh, go ahead.
I was talking about more like younger talent that's in the feeder promotions, for lack of a better term, and there's a show to get them exposure on Abeema before they go to the big leagues. That's what I'm thinking that is.
Maybe that's what that could be. We'll see when we get more specifics on it. This is a brand new deal. It just happened literally a week ago. So we do not have all the specifics on it, but these are all things that will become clear, I'm guessing, by Super RIZIN 5 in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes, and there were 2 fighters that I believe were mentioned. I believe it was, who was it? Chiharu from Fighting Nexus, and I don't remember the other one. Those were 2 that were specifically mentioned in an article. I can't remember. I think it might have been a bout review, but either way, this is going to be a big part of RIZIN's future. That pipeline of young stars.
Yes, 100%.
Do you guys know the significance of Koshien?
I believe it's the baseball tournament.
There you go. Yeah, it's a huge baseball tournament. So
is that right?
Yeah, it's massive. There's even a documentary on Netflix about it that you can watch, and it's hugely watched.
Yes.
Well, no wonder that they named their
winning that tournament is like major. Yeah. Difficult first and big time cloud whoever wins it. You know.
Yeah.
So that makes sense why they would name their amateur tournament that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, let's get to I think we discussed it pretty well, and let's start with the card.
Yeah, well, we have to see how it plays out, but we're going to see more details as they get. We'll let you guys know. Like I said, probably a Super RIZIN 5 preview or review show. Maybe they'll announce some stuff at the Super RIZIN 5, intermission. We don't know. So as we get the information, we'll relay it to you guys on the show here. So, but that's what we know for now, and it's a huge move. And I can't wait to see how it plays out in the future. And what I'm hoping is that's going to be, cheaper for the Japanese fans. Like Mr. Ohio was saying, you can't be charging the equivalent of $50 pay-per-views for every single one. Maybe for Super RIZIN, the bigger shows, that's fine. But for like the smaller shows, like a couple landmarks ago, not the one with Sabatella. Yeah, $35, $30, whatever. Just discount it for the Japanese fans a little bit, And I would also I subscribe to the same theory as Drew in that I think they should offer, like when it's a lesser card, maybe give that one away for free to entice fans to get the next pay-per-view afterwards. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what their monetary situation is. I know Takenshin, he was butthurt from being asked out of this Grand Prix because he missed weight like an idiot. How does a heavyweight miss weight? But anyways, he was butthurt on Twitter saying that, Sakakibara-san, because of the Ginzu girls or whatever he called them, he's all this money in debt and all this shit. RIZIN's in debt, millions of dollars. And it's like, I don't believe that for a second, because they're pay-per-view viable and they're selling out every show, 10,000 plus fans. So
was he called out on it? Yes. So, and that's the only place that we saw where these supposed debt rumors came from. So, but I'm just saying that as I don't know if they are in the red. If they're not in the black and they're in the red, then I guess they can't do free shows. But if they're in the black or in the green, whatever, definitely I think they should do a free show here and there to entice fans to get the next big pay-per-view. So, that's just something to throw out there. But either way, I just hope it ends up being cheaper for the Japanese fans, because they've been paying the equivalent of $50 every pay-per-view. So that's, not fair to them.
That mentioned that?
What?
Who was it that mentioned that about Sakakibara?
Takakenshin, Sudario's brother.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember, he's the one that missed weight at heavyweight, nonetheless, and he got kicked out of the 4-man mini heavyweight Grand Prix that just happened on this RIZIN54 card. So, okay, so we talked about this plenty. Let's get into this card. Let's breeze through it to get the big ones. The first one is coming up. Arata Mizuno, deep guy, versus Lee Kai-Wen, the former one championship guy, searching for his first victory in RIZIN, and boy, did he get it in sensational fashion. Just, I mean, would you consider this a comeback KO? I mean, like he was kind of behind a little bit, or no?
I thought he was behind, but then he. Long story short, always keep your hands up when you go inside and don't keep your chin up.
Yeah, so he scored a sensational knockout to kick the card off with a curtain jerker, and it was great to see Lee Kai-Wen get a sensational get that first win in RIZIN, and finally get the monkey off the back, so to speak, of the Chinese fighters, because every single Chinese fighter before him has lost and not done well in RIZIN. Even Lee Kai-Wen himself was coming off a loss, so he needed this win bad. And he got it in sensational fashion against a deep. Was Mizuno a deep champion?
I think he might have been. Was he interim featherweight? Something like he was.
Okay,
I think he was a belt. It was something like that.
So he was a good deep fighter, and this is a big win for Lee Kai-Wen. It's great to see. So, and I can't wait to see him back because as we talked about in the previous show, the guy's an action fighter every single time, no matter what. The guy's going to bring you action every time he steps foot in the ringer cage. Lee Kai-Wen's going to bring you action. It's great to see him get that win. So is there any more you want to talk about this one, Mr. Ohio or Todd? No? Okay.
Long story short, as I said, not the result that RIZIN would have wanted, I'm sure. Just give Mizuno another victory or two in deep and bring him back, because I thought he looked pretty decent with his boxing before, like I said, he got way too wild.
Yeah. So you would consider a comeback KO for Lee Kai-Wen then, because Mizuno. Yeah. Okay. Me too. Because he was down on my scorecards until that knockout. So that's why I'm saying it's a comeback. So
I agree.
Okay. Cool.
Don't just keep your fucking hands up.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep it rolling here. Next we got Naoki versus Isa Hosokawa. This one I thought was Naoki got him fair and square. But Isa Hosokawa was showing great heart, and for a noob or whatever you want to call it, he looked pretty good. What was that, Mr. Howe?
A debutante, I think is how it's said.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely his first big stage appearance, but I think he had like a fight or two before this. Was it on Breaking Down? I can't remember right now.
Breaking Down, and then he had that kickbox, that open finger glove fight with Sho Usami on whatever New Year's Eve, 2024, 2020, whatever it was. Okay,
so but this was definitely his first big stage performance, and he looked pretty good. Even some of the Japanese fans I was reading were giving him props, going, "Hey, he showed a lot of heart and more guts than we thought he would for a debutante or a debuting fighter, whatever." And so he looked good even in defeat, but he did get defeated. And credit to Naoki. Yes. He actually had a great walkout too with his students. They were dressed up in like almost like remember the Jabberwockies? Remember those guys? Yeah, I do. It's kind of like that with the masks on and stuff like that. It wasn't the same, but it was his students, little kids for like his karate or martial arts students, and he'd walk out in the Jabberwocky style mask afterwards, doing a dance. It's a pretty good walkout. And it would have been walkout of the night, except for this next fight, which we'll get into afterwards. But Naoki got the walkout and the great performance, and he finished Hosokawa. But it wasn't like a traditional finish. It was because
that eye was horrible.
Yeah, he closed up Hosokawa's eye and pretty badly, to where the doctor had to step in and stop it in the second or third round. I think it was the second round, if I remember correctly.
I think there was two, but I'll say this about Hosokawa: he was actually winning the grappling.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. He looked good until the doctor stoppage. So, it's just and the kickboxing crossover guy. Yeah, exactly. Naoki kickboxing crossover just got him with the striking and just did his thing, took him out, looked great doing it. But credit to Hosokawa even in the loss. So I think they bring back both guys.
Oh, absolutely.
And absolutely, yeah. Okay, so
I would like to see Naoki versus Hiroaki Suzuki.
Oh, nice. What about Hosokawa? Who would you match him up with next?
Would you put him in with maybe Yoshiki Nakahara?
Okay, this is my suggestion. How about another Breaking Down guy? Well, and this will be a lead into the next fight, Jolly. Is that too much experience, you think?
They're what, like two weight classes divided, though?
Shoot. Is that? Oh, sorry. I'm freaking. That 6 is actually. they're way two different weight classes. My bad.
No, don't worry about it. No, I'm just saying, like,
my phone is small, so the weight classes, I had to zoom in to see the weight classes.
I'm trying to think, like, Yoshiki Nakahara has a lot of experience, but he's lost his last 3 fights. Maybe at a landmark show, put Hosokawa if you feel that he could take on a respected veteran. I mean,
okay,
or do you
that sounds good.
Or do you match him easier? I don't know, because matchmaking in RIZIN is very weird to me. Sometimes they book them appropriately, and sometimes they bluntly don't.
Yeah, they throw them to the wolves, feed them to the wolves, like way before they're ready, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
So hopefully they'll do Hosokawa. I think he's good enough to, like, I think he should be, slowly brought up, because he showed great heart, and it could be something for them in the future. So I like your suggestion, Mr. Ohio. So let's go with that. And since I incorrectly brought up Jolly because I couldn't read, the screen was so small, the weight classes, and they're kilograms too. But let's go into this fight next, because Jolly and Joe Hiramoto put an absolute banger. And this is the one where Jolly, he stole the show with his walkout. He came out with some like Korean pop, Japanese dancing girls doing some Korean pop song. I forget what it is now, and he was doing the whole dance routine with them. And it was amazing. Like, I was like, dude, and you know what's crazy is that it started to go viral. And then freaking either Abeema or whoever was doing the internet policing or whatever, they started, striking people for sharing the walkout of Jolly that was getting millions of views, dude, hundreds of thousands of likes. It was going viral, and they freaking struck it. And when in the midst of it going viral, it was crazy to me. I don't know why they do that. They should have let that gone viral. But anyways, Jolly had a sensational walkout, easily won walkout of the night, with the Japanese dancing girls and him doing the dance along with them in stellar fashion. It was incredible. And then the fight, man, Joe Hiramoto, incredible. Dude, this kid, this is Ren Hiramoto's little brother. And the guy is looking better and better every single fight. It's crazy. I mean, his progression is fantastic, dude. I mean, I'm thinking him and his brother, I mean, dude, 2 stars right there. I mean, it's I know Drew's gonna give me shit because I guess Ren is not a ticket seller or whatever, but I mean,
if you sell pay-per-view for people to see him get his ass whipped, then that's a draw.
Exactly. So he may not be the number 2 draw specifically, but whatever, he's a draw. And now his little brother Joe Hiramoto, he is building himself into a draw, especially if he keeps putting up performances like this. This is like, what is like second or third in a row? I think it's his third finish in a row against, top quality competition, right?
Yeah, I don't think Jolly's bad at all. It's just that Jolly was fighting his first real MMA fighter.
Yeah, and Joe, I was still just blown away by how good Joe looked in this one, and because I thought Jolly was going to get him, bro. I was rooting for Jolly the whole way because of the walkout and everything, and then Joe just took him out fair and square.
I wanted Joe to win. I wanted Joe to win because
you did?
I did, because I was really interested. I really loved his fight with Seiya Amayama, where he was dropped 3 times and showed that heart.
Yeah.
And then this time he showed, honestly, some pretty good technique, because the way he threw that right hook when Jolly was backing up hands down, perfect. And knocked him out.
Knocked him the F out, dude. Blasted him off. Do you see how it looked like it blasted him off his feet? Like it knocked him back to where it looked like Jolly left his feet, bro. It was like out cold in the air as he hit they had to bring in the stretcher to stretcher him out, dude. It was such a brutal knockout.
It was brutal. And like I said, Joe was technically perfect with that right hook.
Yeah, it was awesome. Hey, Todd, did you see that one or no? Did you chance to watch that one yet? No, not yet. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. It'll be on YouTube soon. And well, watch that one. He's a future Japanese fighter to watch, guaranteed. I mean, he's really impressing me and Mr. Ha and everybody, in my opinion. So now let's move on to, here we go, Todd. This is one of the ones that we want to talk to you about. This is where a good Japanese fighter is up against a good international guy. This is Joji Goto versus Ozzybek Temerov. And yes, this is the UFC Temerov's brother. who had just taken out a #1 contender in RIZIN, and if he had won this fight, he was going to get a title shot. Yeah, Fukuda, exactly. If Fukuda, if Fukuda would have beat Temerov, he would have been fighting for the title next. But now it was Temerov's turn. I think if he would have won, he would have been fighting for the title next. But Joji Goto had other plans and looked sensational and beat Temerov and finished him almost by twister again, dude. Joji Goto, you remember, is Mr. Twister. He got 2 twisters back to back and almost got another twister in this bout before finishing.
Geared him in Junior Hibino, was it?
Yeah. It was several fights ago. But it was still it was so significant that it was back to back. That's what got him the nickname Mr. Twister, because and it was just crazy to see that he almost pulled off another one in this bout. Before I think he got him with was it a rear naked or was it a
it was
okay yeah but before that he almost had the twister again, dude. So Mr. Twister showing sensational grappling, taking out a solid. If you don't want to call him a elite international guy, this guy is as solid as it gets. Okay, yes. This is Temerov's brother. UFC Temerov's brother we're talking about here.
If you're a bum, you don't beat Ryuya Fukuda.
Exactly. So now, your thoughts on this fight, real quick, Mr. Ohio.
First off, I thought Goto looked excellent. I thought, if I remember correctly, remember when I mentioned on the previous show that I didn't think he would make the mistake that Fukuda did by leaning in with his hands down and chin up where you're vulnerable to the uppercut? He did. Yeah. He was very weary of that uppercut.
You called it, brother. You called it right on.
And even though he got caught with, I think it was like a right hand or a left hook, I think once or twice, his jab, his technical striking, and his footwork were excellent. Like, he was outboxing Temerov until he caught him with that left hand, boom, and showed, honestly, really good finishing instincts. Like, that barrage of elbows was awesome.
Yes. I'm glad you brought the striking as well, because wasn't there some 12-6s in there as well?
I think there was. I don't remember exactly, but what stood out for me with Goto, as I said, the technical striking, and as flies, and dead motherfucker, but
the technical striking and his finishing instinct, right? Yes,
and also his defense.
Yes,
because Temerov was throwing bombs.
And you called it, where he did not duck into that like the strike that you were talking about in the preview show. The uppercut, yeah. I was going to say Nia for some reason. I don't know why. But
no. Yeah, but he would have been caught. If he would have done that, he would have been gone. He would have went to sleep like Fukuda did, because Temerov has one-punch power. And
yes.
You have to box, and I believe he was throwing some kicks as well, if I remember correctly. So he was mixed up the attack. If he can work on his takedown defense, I do think he can give Sabatello problems. But if he isn't, it's going to be the same result. Now,
speaking of Sabatello, for the future of this of Joji Goto and booking next, obviously it's in a way is next for Sabatello, right? That's the consensus that we don't know for sure, but we're guessing that in a way is going to be next for Sabatello. Now, Joji Goto should be right there in the mix, in my opinion, for after that bout.
Yes.
So, and there's a couple other guys that are going to be in the mix as well. Do you do a #1 contender bout, or do you save him to see if he fights the winner of Sabatello and Inoue?
I would put him in with Tilinov.
Oh, you would? Okay, so you would do another #1 contender bout before.
I would.
Okay.
I would. Now, if they want a Japanese challenger, at bantamweight, put him and Naoki Inoue if they want to go with a #1 contenders match and have that headline a show.
Well, no, we're saying Inoue is next for Sabatello.
But I'm saying if they decide not to do that.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
To me, it didn't sound decisive.
That's why I'm saying we don't know for sure. We're just guessing that's what's going to happen next.
So for me, if they want the two top contenders to me are Goto and Inoue.
Yes, 100%. And I would also add after tonight, we'll get to it later, but I would add Sato to the mix as well.
Shogo Sato, I think, is also in that mix. Maybe you put Goto versus Sato if you go with Inoue for a de facto eliminator.
That's what I was leading to. If that would be, you think that would be wise to kill off that's going to kill off a Japanese contender, right?
Yeah,
so that's why I was asking.
But at the same time, you can't avoid them fighting each other forever.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So Sato and Goto, number 1 contenders bout, while Sabatello and Inoue are having a title bout. So
and I would book Inoue Sabatello too if that's what they go with. Maybe RIZIN55 and Chiba.
Yeah, 100% before the end of the year, 100%.
Yes,
right?
100%.
Yes. Okay, cool. Now, Todd, this is the first one of the night where it's a Japanese fighter. This is your exact criteria, brother. A good, solid Japanese fighter facing a solid international guy, and the Japanese fighter prevailed. The first one of the night here. So just want to point that out to you. Make sure you go watch this one. So this is getting you. This is the theme of this show was tailored to your what you wanted to see, which is a good Japanese fighter versus good international fighters to see if the Japanese fighters are going to come out on top.
Yeah, you had three, arguably 4.
Exactly. And wasn't Goto the betting underdog in this one, if I remember correctly?
I don't remember, but honestly, the way that Temerov knocked Fukuda out, it wouldn't shock me if he was.
I think he was. I think he was an underdog, and he got the victory here. So score 1 for the Japanese fighters.
Damn, should have betted.
Yes. So all right, let's go on to the next one, which is Kazumasa Majima versus Koji Takeda. And this was a grappler delight exactly as we talked about. So, and Takeda, he looked good, dude. I mean, Takeda, he just didn't have any suplexes like we thought. You know, we're going to call him Mr. Suplex. He was kind of, wasn't he? Which is strange to see because you would think Takeda was going to be the bigger wrestler, but he got it done, finished him.
The grappler got submitted with an armbar.
I
thought that coming. Would not have thought that coming at all.
And it was crazy because remember, he set up as a triangle. It was a triangle first, and then he moved from the triangle to the armbar and got it on Majima, which is very impressive because these are 2 grappling specialists.
But one is a wrestler, one is a phenomenal grappler.
Yes, and the phenomenal grappler is the one that got submitted by the wrestler. So, I mean, it was pretty impressive by Takeda, in my opinion. Total grapplers delight exactly as advertised, exactly as we predicted on the show, and it was just great to see. I loved it. You want to talk about this? I want to see what your thoughts are on this bout.
I was stunned when I saw that because I would have never expected Koji Takeda to beat Majima by submission, let alone how he did it.
Right? Totally right.
There's a reason why you fight. There's a reason why you fight the fights. 1.
Exactly.
Number 2, Takeda looks so much more comfortable at featherweight now.
Yeah, which is shocking because remember he's a bigger guy dropping down weight, right? So
he's a player. He is a player at featherweight for sure.
Total, and he looks comfortable now at featherweight. Very comfortable. Like you know how Kolesnik, when he dropped down to featherweight, he kind of he didn't look the same as he did at lightweight, right? At lightweight he looked like a killer. And at featherweight, it seems like the weight cut.
Not as good, yes. I agree.
Yeah, yeah. But Takeda is the opposite. Takeda was, kind of like, I don't want to say mid at lightweight, but he was in the mix.
He was very mid at lightweight.
But he was in the mix at lightweight. But now at featherweight, dude, he's doing great, and he's a contender at featherweight, in my opinion. Especially after this bout.
Weight classes.
Yes. So he looked very good.
Sometimes there's guys that maybe most people don't know are good. I'll give you an example. Daiju Takase. Daiju Takase was a mid fighter, but there's a gym called G Square during the Pride days, and Yoshida would be there, Nakamura, Yokoi, Genki Sudo, Josh Barnett would go there. Lyoto Machida would show up there, and I went in the room one day there with Ryan Bowe because he used to go there, and this was invite only place. You couldn't just go there. It's inside a Gold's Gym. Takase whipped all those guys' asses. You know what I mean? So when he fought Anderson Silva, here comes out this guy, this mid fighter, And everyone's like, "Oh, this must have been fake." No, this the guy's really good grappler. You know what I mean? So sometimes there's a guy that surprises you that most people may not realize. I don't know what Takeda's reputation is, but everyone knew Takase was super dangerous. You know, in Japan as far as
he's more of a wrestler, but he was middle of the class at lightweight, but he looked small for lightweight to me. So he's one of those guys that would be a big featherweight, small lightweight.
I mean, what his reputation is in Japan, because like I said, guys in the gyms, they know that Takase's dangerous. You know what I mean? Because if they train with him, he beats their ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I do.
when he beat Anderson Silva, guys in Japan were like, well, yeah, I mean, if the fight's on the ground, it's not surprising.
And the UFC fanboys for years would not acknowledge Takase getting the triangle on Anderson Silva. For years, they acted like it was like because they had to say that one, you know how it was, they had to see that one angle from the side to see the tap from Anderson. They were trying to say that, oh, the ref broke him up before there was a tap, and dude, all kinds of misinformation for years on that fight, bro. But Takase got Anderson Silva fair and square with a triangle and tapped him out. That's who Todd is talking about.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm
I remember
just saying.
when I first went there, I asked around beforehand, like, who owns that gym? You know, and Takase, he said, without a second thought, Takase, man. he whips all our asses. And these are the, great guys, some of the stars of Pride.
Right, and some people couldn't put it together in under the bright lights.
Precisely.
So, but to me, Takeda, as we said, he looks more comfortable. He's improved a ton, and like I said, I think this is just me once again, not to beat a dead horse. Small lightweight, big featherweight. If he can make the weight cut, that's where he should be, and clearly he's done what he can to make the weight.
And he looks good at it. And like for me, in the mix at lightweight, title contender at featherweight. So
yeah, I think he's staying at featherweight. Dare I say Ryan Cafaro would be a damn good fight for him?
Ooh, nice. I like that. American fighter versus Japanese wrestler.
Or the winner of Matsushima Kolesnik.
Okay, there we go. Because remember, that's Takeda's biggest win, in my opinion, to date, besides this Majima one, was when he beat Kolesnik, right?
Or the winner of Vugar Karamov, Ryo Takagi.
Oh, nice. And any one of those, it's got to be a number one contender's bout, in my opinion. I think that Takeda has done enough to earn at least a number one contender's bout against any of those big names that Mr. Ohio just mentioned. So now getting on to one of the – this one was the main event of the undercard. I'm not going to call it prelims. It weren't prelims. It's all one main card.
And it was moved. And remember, this was moved because of Gazimatov's weight miss.
Yes. And this is the next one, Todd, where it's a good Japanese fighter versus a good international fighter. Dare I say great international fighter here. So this is Yuki Ito versus Ozzybek Temerov. And this one, you guys remember Ito? He was, all these guys are part of the flyweight division, the flyweight Grand Prix that happened.
Yes.
And Ito, does he have a win over Laramie, or is it Laramie has a win over Ito?
Laramie lost to Ito.
Okay. So Ito beat Laramie, and Laramie is fighting for the title next, right?
Yeah, whenever the hell that is.
I'm sure it's going to be one of the main events or co-main events of these upcoming either the October or November card.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So it's going to be Laramie versus Shinryu. Now Ito in this bout looks sensational against a fighter that missed a good international fighter, almost great international. I want to say great international fighter.
I wouldn't say great, but he's very good.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. There we go. That's in between great and good. Very good. A very good international fighter. And he was an underdog in this one as well. And the international fighter missed weight, did not have to kill himself on the weight cut. So he was the fresher fighter going, and just everything was stacked against Ito in this one. And Ito got it done. And in sensational fashion, I'm talking it was a TKO, technical knockout, but it was it could have been, dude, he was beating him up. It was incredible. Go watch this fight, dude. Had him up against the ropes, beating the snot out of him. Incredible combinations.
What was an Anaconda, I believe?
Oh, it wasn't TKO, it was Anaconda?
No. I'm talking about the Anaconda weekend.
Oh, yes. You're exactly right. It started off with Anaconda on the ground, and then it got stood up, and then Ito just started beating the snot out of him in the ring and forced the ref to step in to stop the beating. And it was really impressive. I mean, this was I think it's Ito's most impressive performance, in my opinion. I mean, it was just, I know I'm biased because he's beaten a very good international fighter, but he looked fantastic. And I think, honestly, he's got to have the winner. I don't even think you put him in a number one contenders bout next. I think you put him straight into a title shot. The winner of Laramie and Shinryu. No matter who wins, Ito's next, in my opinion.
He's a great striker. I watched him fight Carlos Mota. I know Francisco Bueno really well, Mota's trainer. And, Mota's a good fighter even. He's good in knockout. He won the title in knockout. And
Unlimited.
He was giving Ito a good battle, and then Ito, knocked him out. So he's a good fighter. I think the Anaconda, because he was on top, the angle that he had it at, he couldn't really crank it the way he needed to. If he was more on the side or maybe, kind of north-south, so to speak, he probably could have put more pressure on it. But he was at an odd angle, and his butt was to the ropes.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard for him to apply as much leverage as he needed to.
Yeah. But you did watch this one. Good.
Yeah, because of the angle. That it would be hard to finish in that position the way he was at, but it took out of him,
Yes, that's exactly what Mr. Ohio was saying. It took out of him.
Yeah.
And Gazimatov he knows what he's doing in the grappling department. He's not a newbie in the grappling department. He knows how to grapple. So it was just, man, this is an impressive victory all around for Ito. Like Todd was saying, his previous best win was Carlos Mota, sensational knockout. Mota is the current Knockout Unlimited champion. Yes, Mr. Hall is unlimited, which is, if you guys don't know, that's knockout kickboxing's. The unlimited rule set is where they allow strikes on the ground, including superior rule set strikes on the ground, just no grappling. So think of a kickboxing match with grounded strikes. Just you can't grapple. So if it goes to the ground, you can strike, followed up with soccer kicks, ground knees, whatever. You stomps. Carlos Mota has some great flying stomp highlights. You just can't go down there and try to grapple and go for a choke or something. That's Knockout Unlimited rules.
Yes.
And Ito's biggest win before this one was against Carlos Mota. And now this is his biggest win, which in my opinion should give him a title shot next.
Yeah, I think RIZIN should bring Mota back. So I think Mota still has an opportunity to be really, really good. He just needs to protect. He needs to find I would say like a style where he can protect his chin a little bit. Maybe get takedown a little bit here, there, strike, get takedown, keep the guy off balance. Because he's a little, he's been knocked out a few times. And
why not put Mota in with Gazimatov?
Yeah, so it can kind of like, if he had a style where he can kind of protect himself from the aggression, keep his opponent off balance. Because he's a little chinny, a little bit, so he's got to protect himself in that way. Sometimes it's hard to do.
Mr. Ohio.
Yeah.
Gazimatov is a grappler, so you'd want a striker Mota versus grappler Gazimatov, right?
They're both coming off losses, so I think it makes sense that two contenders looking to reestablish themselves.
Okay. And we love Mota because Mota, he understands the assignment, as we've seen in Knockout. So he's perfect for RIZIN. I 100% agree, Todd. Bring Carlos Mota back as soon as possible. You want to put him against Gazimatov, that's fine, or somebody else. You want to do a different style, do striker versus striker again, whatever. Just bring Carlos Mota back. We want to see that superior rule set. And Gazimatov, he definitely needs to be brought back as well because he's a very good international fighter as well. And you guys, are we all in agreement that Ito deserves a title shot now?
I am.
Okay, good.
I was also going to say that Ito showed, once again, good grappling defense because Gazimatov had his back, I believe. Also, Gazimatov gassed again.
Yes, in the third round, right?
Second? Wasn't he finished? Was the second?
He was slowing down the second round. The first round, I think he won the scorecards.
He did.
The second round, he started gassing. And the third round, he was gassed, and then Ito really turned it on, and that's when he got the anaconda, like you're saying, the anaconda choke just took it all out of him, and then he was Ito's punching bag in the corner. It was just incredible.
The second round as well, so I do think he has a stamina issue. But regardless, Ito did what he had. Ito looked excellent, did what he had to do, and put the pressure on when he needed to. I mean, there's not really much more to say about it. He looked great.
Yes, 100%. And Todd, this is Japanese fighters 2, international guys 0 on this card.
1.
Oh, you're talking about Lee Kai-Wen, huh?
I am.
Yeah. Okay. So Japanese fighters 2, international guys 1 for Todd's criteria of Japanese fighters versus good international fighters. Okay, so now let's go. It was the intermission, and then it was the heavyweight, the mini Grand Prix, as I call it, because it's only a 4-man Grand Prix. And the first one up was Sudario versus Ryo Sakai. And Sakai, this is the guy that was plugged in there because Takakenshin missed weight in the fight with Sakai. And they, Japanese people, the Japanese organizations, they take weight missing seriously. It's not only, a percentage of your purse. It's a yellow card, points off the fight.
I thought it was a red card.
It's almost not a red card completely. It's a yellow card, which is points off the fight, and then because a red card is disqualification. It's not that.
I thought it was a red card. If you miss weight, you start with 2 points off.
Oh well, because a red card is disqualification, though. I thought
it might be, but I'm pretty sure that Patchy Mix got a red card at the beginning of the fight. I could be wrong, but with the 2-point deduction.
Yes, that's because Patchy Mix missed over 5 pounds.
Okay.
Gazimata was under 5 pounds, and it's still points off, because the RIZIN's new scoring system is round by round, and based on the 3Ds: damage, domination, and duration, and that's how they divvy up the points. So you get points down. It's like a 10-9 must system each round, and you get a point off, 2 points down if you miss weight, right? So you're already behind. And also, if you win the bout, it's a no contest no matter what. Even if you knock the guy out, your opponent out. So they take weight missing very seriously in Japan. Even so much so that they moved Ito and Gazimata, since Gazimata missed weight by like half a pound or a pound or whatever it was. They bumped them down off the quote-unquote main top card into just the main event before the intermission. So they demoted him from the co-main event spot. Or right below the co-main event spot, I should say. So, anyways, they bumped up. They took very seriously weight missing. They bumped up the heavyweight Grand Prix. And Takakenshin, Sudario's brother, he should have, I think they should have looked the other way for this one and put him in there, because it would have been great to see Sudario versus Takakenshin, 2 brothers going at it. It would have been great for selling, but they take like I said, they take weight cutting seriously, and you weight missing, they don't mess around. So they didn't let Takakenshin in the heavyweight Grand Prix. That's why he got all butthurt and was starting the rumor of the RIZIN being in debt and all this other shit. And we don't know if it's true or not. I seriously doubt it is, because this event, RIZIN54, 10,000 plus fans, Landmark, 10,000 plus fans, all in new arenas where they'd never been before. I mean, this is.
If they would have something really hard to hide, it would get out.
Exactly. And their pay-per-view viable. We know they get, from the 2024 numbers that were released, we know that they get on a minimum, like I think the lowest they got was 50,000 pay-per-view buys. And like the highest they got for like Supervisor New Year's Eve, I forget which one it was, like a Makiru one, it was like 400,000 buys or something, or 500,000 buys, some crazy number, good number like that. So they do well on pay-per-view is the point. So we know for a fact that they're selling out these shows, 10,000 plus fans in the arena, and they're getting minimum 50,000 buys on pay-per-view each time. So I don't know how many Ginzu girls or whatever Takakenshin said that you need to burn through that much money, but I mean, come on, they're not in debt. So, but anyways, so Takakenshin's not on here. It's Sakai. Sudario, this was, remember as I said in the preview show, this was his fight to lose, and he had to come in there and impress, and he did, in my opinion. He came in there, did what he had to do, took care of it, got the knockout, but he did it in sensational fashion. He did a soccer kick knockout. This is one of the only superior rule set knockouts of the night, and it was a soccer kick knockout at heavyweight, and it was fantastic. I loved it. I even tweeted about it. I was so happy, excited about it. So what do you think about this one, Mr. Ohio?
I don't think there's much to say about it, honestly. I mean,
yeah, it's
Real Sakai had the right idea. He had to box, but he wasn't fast enough or skilled enough to do that. And eventually, Sidario caught him with that. I believe it was a right hand, and then the soccer kick, knocked him out.
Yes.
Did what he had to do.
Yes.
I don't think
moves on. Yeah, moves on to face the winner of the next bout.
Yeah,
which we'll get into right now because that one was kind of like a gimme layup for Sidario. Everybody knew it. We talked about it in the preview show. So you're absolutely right, Mr. Ohio. Enough said about that one. Move on to the next one. This one. Well, this was like almost a final, in my opinion. It was Ed Polo King. That's Poaton's training partner, the big, tall heavyweight in Poaton's and they had Poaton's coach. I forget his name right now, darn it, but he was there cornering Ed Polo King. They even showed Poaton, Alex Pereira, in Ed Polo King's VTR entrance video. So I mean, it's total. And Ed Polo King was doing the mimicking, you're saying Chama, doing all that stuff, and we'll get after the fight. We'll say he was mimicking Poaton Pereira. You can tell this from Alex Pereira's camp. So, and he was facing one of the top Japanese heavyweights, Mikio Ueda, who is is it Kyokushin karate? Kyokushin. There you go. Thank you. Kyokushin karate champ. Great kicks. I mean, the guy for a heavyweight, he can kick really good. And I expected him to kick out Ed Polo King's legs a lot more than he did. I was kind of surprised his game plan was not more leg kicks, but whatever. Ed Polo King looked good. Got it done with a sensational barrage with the sensational clinch knee, just blasted Ueda, knocked him out, and then he does the Poaton that celebration afterwards, where he's going like this over the knocked out body.
Ueda's tactics were baffling here.
Yeah, I know, right? I agree 100%. But Ed Polo King looked great, and I can't wait to see the final between him and Sidario to see who's going to face Alexander Sodakin, the current heavyweight Grand Prix champion, supposedly on New Year's Eve, but the final is scheduled for November, which, remember, that was going to be a landmark event, but I believe because of this heavyweight Grand Prix, or at least that's one of the reasons, they switched it to a ring event now, so they keep it consistent.
Because Chiba, the whatever it's not Happiness Arena, it's Lala Bay or something, Lala Arena in Tokyo Bay or something like that. That's a 10,000-ish seater, I believe, at least. So they need a pretty big card to get butts and seats for that arena. So I think I think that they have a plan for getting some bigger fighters to make it a numbered show.
Okay, cool. Well, it is a numbered show now, so that's what we're going to see in the future. And this heavyweight Grand Prix, the final is going to be in that November show, and then supposedly the winner is facing Alexander Sodakin on New Year's Eve. But that's only going to be it's at the start of November, so it'll be a 2-month turnaround. But I mean, it depends on how much damage they take if they're going to face Sodakin or not. If it's a war, I seriously doubt that they're going to be able to ready in time to face Sodakin. If it's another knockout like this one, if Ed Polo King gets another clinch knee knockout on Sidario, for sure put him against Sodakin on New Year's Eve. So we'll see what happens. But I was really impressed with Ed Polo King. People were saying it was kind of cringe of him to mimic Pereira's this celebration. I thought that was kind of cool, a cool way to acknowledge Pereira. And then the only one I'll agree with them on is kind of cringe is him saying Chama all the time like Pereira does. I guess it's taken a little bit too far, but to me the celebration was fine.
Yeah, if he wants to, he wants to. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's cool.
He's improved, definitely, but if I'm Sidario, I do try to grapple him.
Or leg kicks. For goodness sakes, where the taller fighter, you're supposed to chop the tree down with the leg kicks, right?
Yeah, and I'm really surprised. I'm surprised Ueda abandoned that and didn't do it.
Seriously, dude, I'm sitting there going, "What the hell is he doing, bro?
Yeah,
how is a Kyokushin karate champion not gonna kick not gonna chop the tree down with leg kicks?
Yeah,
when he's got some of the best kicks in heavyweight, like you said, just baffling gameplay.
Yeah, and he let freaking Ed Polo King control the real estate of the fight.
I mean, my guess is, you think he was intimidated? Mr. Hot, do you think he was intimidated by the size of Ed Polo King, like being so tall?
I do. I thought he looked a little timid, honestly.
Yes. So I think that could be an explanation of the baffling game plan by Ueda.
I mean, ultimately, you got to go out there and execute, and Ed Polo King did it.
It's exactly right. And now we get the final of Ed Polo King versus Dario. It's going to be a banger. I can't wait to see how that plays out. Hopefully, Ed Polo King wins, but Sudario with the right game plan can pull it off. We'll see how it goes. Look for that in November on the newly announced numbered ring show. So it's going to be awesome. So now let's get into the co-main event and the main event. Now the co-main event, Patchy Mix missed weight, and by over 5 pounds, and it's like, dude, this should be his last time at bantamweight, in my opinion. You can't do this anymore, Patchy.
He's lucky the fight even happened.
Seriously, right? I agree 100%. And credit to Sato for still taking the fight, but Patchy, you got to go back up to featherweight, brother. You can't be doing this weight missing by over 5 pounds, dude. It was like 6 or 7 pounds, something crazy like that. And it's like, man, and that's why he got 2 points off, the no contest, because of his purse, and he's like Mr. Ohio said, he's lucky the fight even still happened. Shoko Sato looks sensational in this. Beat up Patchy Mix. This is one of the only decisions of the night. And
Mix looked decent, even though he missed weight and all that. Aside, I think in the early first round, I thought he won that round.
Yes,
oh, absolutely.
He looked pretty good. He kind of did look like awkward. It wasn't really a wrestling duck under, but he went under the arm. Took the back. It wasn't a traditional duck under, but yeah, he got the back, got the body triangle. So he kind of, I thought he kind of controlled that part. And
he was looking like the Patchy Mix of old, like. We don't know what happened to Patchy Mix the past couple of fights. It looked like he kind of returned to form. But still, Shoko Sato, dude, he beat him up, bro. Patchy Mix looked like he'd been hit by a truck afterwards, right?
The third round was very close. But I thought that in the last minute, Sato did enough damage to win the round.
I agree. And he also, since it's scored by the 3 Ds, remember the first D is damage. And Sato clearly did more damage.
Patchy didn't do a damn thing with a superior position for most of round 3.
Yes, and I do not count that one. I mean, I guess you can kind of count it as a submission, but attempt. But, I mean, it just wasn't enough. In my opinion, Sato beat him on the scorecards fair and square. 29-28, even without the point deductions.
I agree,
So-
but either way, Sato won the fight. I mean, that's
Yes.
and it's like anyone trying to spin that is just a freaking fool.
And that's what brings us into this Tapology thing. Now, this is what we were talking about at the start of the show. Tapology has said that, no, actually, Patchy Mix won the fight on the scorecards, but because of the weight miss and the judges' point deductions, that's why he lost. And fans are going, wait a minute. What the hell are you kidding me? No. People that actually watch the fight are saying, no, he lost the fight on the scorecards regardless of the 2-point deduction or not.
But regardless, he still lost the fight officially 28-27.
Yes. No, it wasn't 29-27, something like that?
I thought it was 28-27 because of the point deduction, the 2-point deductions. It would be 29-28 without Patchy without the point deductions.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that Patchy Mix won on the judges' scorecards without the point deductions.
Yes.
So that's what Tapology is trying to say.
Yeah, which shouldn't fucking matter because officially.
Kind of say that too, but I thought you guys might say I was crazy. I was like, without the point deduction, maybe he wins.
Okay, so
I thought you might say I was
Sato
insane
won.
or something.
No, I thought Sato won fair and square without the point deductions.
I agree, but the judges gave Patchy 2 rounds, which is fine. But regardless,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I was like, at the end, I was like, oh, you didn't win,
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I guess I missed the judges' scorecards.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I thought Sato won on the scorecards, but whatever. I guess not. So I guess it's not that. I thought it was gonna be a conspiracy theory. I thought it was Ali saying, "Hey, my fighter's coming up on a contract thing here. Tapology. Here's a thing of money. Make it look like he didn't lose that bad."
They also got rid of the Chihiro Suzuki no contest in the first fight with Kleber. they put it as a loss for Chihiro, even though it was a no contest because of the weight miss for Kleber.
Yeah, so they're not consistent. That's the thing we were giving them shit about, was going, hey, why are you guys doing that for this fight? And then for other fights, you're not doing that for. And if you really wanted to be a crusader against this type of stuff, how about the fight at MVP in LA here, where the guy got choked out after the bell?
Yes.
I mean, is there more of a clear case that this could have been, for whatever Tapology is trying to do, this whatever crusade it is they're trying to do here?
Long story short, Tapology lost any credibility they had with this bullshit, as far as
it's absolutely crazy. And, Drew's being nice and saying, well, let's see how they do it in the future for any more of these type of things. But it's like, no, this is look in the past. We can look and judge them on this. And this was just so far out there. Just like, what are you guys even doing, dude? It was crazy.
If you have to release a statement, a defensive statement like they did, they screwed up.
Seriously. And it wasn't just a statement, Mr. Ohio. It was a freaking novel, dude. It was like a fucking wall of text, bro. Like they were writing the Gettysburg Address to explain themselves. It was crazy, dude. It was just shocking to see, man. I couldn't believe it. I mean,
long story short, they lost a bunch of credibility. Chihiro is not 13-7; he's 14-6 with one no contest. Shoko Sato won this fight. It's as simple as that. They can spin however they can spin it however they want. RIZIN won't recognize, and Sherdog won't recognize.
Sherdog, Wikipedia, nobody is recognized. It's only Tapology doing this shit, and it's
and the same thing with Suzuki's fight and whatever. So it's one of those things where I don't know why they did it, but you want to lose your credibility over some BS like this.
I know. That's why I was joking around saying, hey, is it Ali sending them an envelope of money saying, hey, my fighter's coming up on a contract here, make it look like he didn't lose as bad or something. I don't know. I mean,
Tapology doesn't have the best reputation because they don't update the records anyway most of the time. If it's more smaller, more obscure promotions, so I don't think they're particularly trustworthy.
I mean, well, not anymore after this. I mean, it's like they gotta redeem themselves now. It's just crazy. I just can't believe they did this shit.
You can just sweep under the rug.
Seriously, but let's get back to the fight now that we explained the Tapology incident. But that was dominating the news cycle for at least a week after RIZIN54 happened. It was big news. So I mean, and people were just taking them to task. Like Mr. Ohio said, they released a freaking Gettysburg Address statement of explaining themselves. Dude, it was crazy. But anyways, on the fight,
it wasn't so much an explanation as it was a really just a really defensive response.
It was. You're absolutely right, dude. It was totally defensive. They were not it's just
no contrition.
Go look at it for yourselves, bro. It's on the Tapology X accounts, and it should still be up there. It's one of their, I mean, dude, most quoted, it should be one of the top ones that shows up for Tapology. It's just crazy, dude. I just couldn't believe it.
They're idiots, and but life goes on. Sato won. Totally. He's on to bigger and better things.
And that's what I want to talk to you about. Sato looked great in this. I thought he won on my scorecards, fair and square.
I agree with you.
So, I mean, and to me, does this not put him in title contention? Like we were saying earlier, remember it's going to be Inoue, and then Goto, and then Sato. Could we do that for number one contenders bouts?
Absolutely. Now, if you want to really throw a curveball, then give Sato Tilinov.
Okay, so I love that you still like Tilinov. I want to call him Tylenov, so me and Todd can give him the nickname of Extra Strength Tylenov. Put you to sleep with the knockouts.
He's really good. You can tell. I think he's a contender, and I'm just saying that if you want to use Sato more as a not enhancement talent, but as like a gatekeeper because of his age, then Tilinov makes a lot of sense. Okay, and then what about Goto then? Do we just put him in a number one contender already to face the winner of Sabatel Inoue? If he does not fight, my personal opinion is Inoue should get the rematch. If that does not happen, you put Goto versus Inoue, Sato versus Tilinov.
Oh, wow. You want Talanov in the title shot already. I love it. Okay, so what if it's Sabatello and Inoue? What do we – and then it's going to be Sato and Tilinov. What do we do with Goto then?
I just put Goto on ice and give him the next title shot.
Okay, so you do give him the number one.
Yeah, because to me, the victory over Temerov was awesome, was exceptional,
Yes.
but it also it showed what it showed him beating a really good international fighter, and
Yes,
he's world class. So I think
100%.
that I think Goto, you need to at least give him another title shot or at least a tune-up fight.
Okay,
If you
perfect. I agree.
Don't put
I
him
agree.
away as a number one contender.
Yeah. So give Inoue a next title shot. Have Goto face the winner. Do
Yes.
Sato Talanov for Tilinov for the number one contender bout. And
After Goto, yes.
Yes.
And you can set up
Okay.
your first 4 to 6 months of 2027.
Yes. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, and Todd, here, this is a Japanese fighter beating a really good international fighter now. We're 3-1 tonight. So, just want to point that out to you. So, this was another one. And Pat, you even said Patchy Mix kind of looked like the old Patchy Mix of old. So, we'll see.
The Patchy Mix win wasn't all that impressive. I mean, but he did miss weight, so there's that,
Yes. So, I mean, and he lost fair and square. So now, and this is what I want to ask you guys, too. What about Patchy Mix? What do we do with Patchy Mix? He's got one more fight with RIZIN, and he's got one more chance to redeem himself.
Landmark show at featherweight.
Yes. Okay. No matter what it is, landmark, numbered event, whatever, it's got to be at featherweight. This was unacceptable to even have this whole scenario of missing weight over 5 pounds and having Tapology do whatever the heck they did. It's just no more of that shit. Featherweight, or you're done. It's over for you, Tachi. So, and who do we fight? Who do we match him up against at featherweight?
Now, if you don't want to put, actually, maybe him versus Yoshiki Nakahara, who's coming off several losses, makes sense.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to throw a what's it called? I want to do Kleber, because this will be a way to get into the main event here, because Kleber is coming off. I think Kleber because no matter what, since Patchy Mix is a big name, it's got to be against a big recognizable name, in my opinion. So
Kleber makes sense.
Okay, and that could be if Patchy Mix can beat Kleber, then to me that earns him the right to get another a RIZIN contract renewal. But if Kleber beats him, then that's show him the door. Yes, and that's not wasted any of Patchy Mix fights on some lesser known or lesser named fighter, right? So, since he's so expensive a fighter.
I think if they want to put Kleber in a bigger fight, that's something. But like I said, Nakahara, a veteran coming off of 3 losses, hasn't fought in over a year. That would make sense if you want to rebuild Patchy. Okay,
for the rebuild, Kanahara. For the contract winner go home type of fight with a big name, Kleber. That's what I think should happen.
Yoshiki Nakahara, yeah, I can get behind that.
Cool. Okay, now since we talked about Kleber, let's get to the main event here. This was absolutely sensational. The RIZIN Prince Akimoto. I don't know why I said Akimura. RIZIN Prince Kiyoma Akimoto versus Kleber Koike.
How about Patchy Mix versus Shuya Kimura?
Okay, that's to rebuild Patchy Mix, right?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
But also, they're coming off losses, so I'm trying to think of who's coming off several losses, like Mixes.
Okay, so you're thinking of the rebuild. I'm thinking of matching Mix, maximizing his last fight of his contract with the biggest name possible. Yeah. That's why I'm saying Kleber.
I think either or is viable.
Okay, cool. So, but this main event, man, dude, how good did the RIZIN Prince Akimoto look in this one
Yes.
beat the snot out of Kleber, where Kleber looked like he got ran over by a truck after this fight. His face is all beat up, bloodied to a pulp. And, oh, go ahead, Todd. What do you want to say?
I give him Kleber credit. I think first round he did really well. He was kind of awkward, and I think he was having a little difficulty figuring him out, Akimoto, because it's really long, kind of like
and his unorthodox striking.
Kind of like Sandeep in or whatever his name was in that game, where he kicked his leg of the real long kick.
You talking about Street Fighter 2 Dawson?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dawson. Yeah, you have the long kicks, and he lands some good low kicks too. So I think Akimoto's having difficulty figuring him out, and I think in between, I don't know what he said to him, but I would assume he told him, look, when he comes forward all awkward like this, flailing, throw more than one punch, 3 punches, because his counters were like, pop, after that. First round, it was 1 punch, because I think he's like, I don't, it's probably hard to find someone to spar with who's like that, long and awkward, long and flailing, so, but I think.
And throwing volume.
And then, once he,
Kleber was throwing a lot of volume striking as well,
right,
which is really, really different to see from him, because we thought it was going to be a grappling heavy.
Right, and then Kleber got into that shoot, fall, like that always looks real bad. He couldn't stay attached to him. He did a couple of times. He was able to stay attached, but not much.
But how good did Akimoto look with his grappling defense?
Yes.
I was super impressed with him. I was
surprised, honestly, because Kleber didn't really get that much of an opportunity, to be
honest. Did he
even
get one takedown? Did Kleber even score one takedown?
He tried for the leg lock, I think, what was it, 3rd round?
Yeah, but a takedown. Remember, he had him clinched up against. I don't think he didn't get even one takedown.
He couldn't get on top.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a problem.
And that's this. How often does that happen with Kleber and a fight? Never.
Because he's able to drag people there.
So super impressive by RIZIN Prince Akimoto. Want to start, and this, Todd, this satisfies your criteria, brother. You were saying, hey, after that patchy mixed win, you got to keep showing me something. This was like you were saying, this is the next step in that progression, and he passed it with flying colors. And now it's looking like he might be facing Shaddulayev on New Year's Eve, possibly. However, he did hurt his hand in this fight. We don't know how bad he hurt it. We don't know if it's a fracture, a break, or just a ligament, pulling or whatever.
Did he break his hand or did he hurt his hand? Those are two.
We don't know. We don't know the specifics, but he had his hand wrapped. He said it was hurt. He said he hurt his hand. He didn't say he broke his hand. We don't know what the x-rays were. That's why I said we don't know if it's a fracture. We don't know if it's a break. We don't know if it's a ligament tear. But, hopefully it's just a small fracture, because that one could be healed up in time for New Year's Eve to face Shaddulayev. If it's a break or a ligament tear, I would not rush him back in the face of monster like Shaddulayev.
Sakakibara said the same thing. They're not going to rush him back for the sake of rushing him back.
Okay, good. So see, Sakakibara-san has learned since the Almighty Pride FC days when they rushed Fedor Emelianenko back to face Big Dog with a broken hand, and then he hurt his, ended up re-injuring his hand out for a whole freaking year after that. Right, Todd? Remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. So they're not going to make the same mistake with RIZIN Prince Akimoto. If his hand is not ready to go, he's not going to. They're going to keep him. Wait till his hand is healed up before putting him in there against Shaddulayev. And if that does not happen, then hopefully the rumors are true. We know for sure it's going to happen with the MVPFL collaboration. Possibly also on New Year's Eve, there's going to be double collaboration with ACA, the Russian promotion. So there could be so much different collaboration, so many different fighters for Shaddulayev to face. If he's not facing RIZIN Prince Akimoto, my guess is he's going to be facing Kizriev from the MVPFL, who we just saw fight a week or two ago as well, and looked very impressive in his return to the cage or ring, whatever. And he's the number 1 contender in PFL right now. So, or MVPFL, I should say. So, if Akimoto is not able to go on New Year's Eve, MVPFL number 1 contender Kizriev for Akimoto. I think that'd be sensational. So, Mr. Ohio, I'm curious, what do you think we should do with Akimoto? Do you agree with that? And also, we already you know what I think we should do with Kleber next, which is facing this patchy mix. But what is your thoughts on Kleber and Akimoto and this fight overall? Actually,
I don't think I have much to add. I thought that Akimoto, besides the submission defense, once he figured Kleber out, he completely outboxed him, outstruck him, out-whatevered him. His jab was beautiful. His combination punching was beautiful. I thought he was a little tentative, but I understand why, because Kleber is Kleber. So you're not – he did what he had to, but he did it in a way – he was like we were saying on the preview, patiently aggressive.
yes,
that's what I would describe as performance. And he looked – his striking, as expected, looked crisp. It looked on point. His footwork looked great. And there's not much I can really critique about it, honestly. Because as far as MMA striking goes, that was damn near perfect once he figured Kleber out.
It was incredible. What do we do next with Kleber, in your opinion?
Well, I do like your idea about patchy mix. He's beaten Vugar Karamov. So let's see. I'm trying to think of someone who's coming off. I'm trying to think. Maybe you put him in if you really want to push. You push someone who you maybe want to build up as a contender. So dare I say, if he beats Karamov, Ryo Takagi.
Okay, nice. I like it. So either we got patchy mix or somebody try to build somebody up like Takagi.
Yes.
Very cool. Now, how about? Oh, go ahead.
Because I was going to say, at this point with Kleber, he's kind of he's not a gatekeeper because he's still very good, but because he's lost to the best, he kind of has hit a ceiling at this point. But he has that credibility as a good fighter and a former champion. So
I think you don't want to say he's a gatekeeper, but I mean, he as far as gatekeepers go, he'd be probably one of the best now.
I would say he's more of a barometer than a gatekeeper. I think there's a difference. A gatekeeper to me is like just a decent veteran who, if you're like a low-level contender, you beat him. If you're a barometer, you're pretty damn good. Like you're title contention level.
Yeah. So he's like, how about say elite gatekeeper?
Okay, that can work. But I'm just saying, and there is a difference between like a Kleber and I'll use him again, Yoshiki Nakahara.
Agreed, 100%.
Good
and I was going to say that Kleber is definitely multiple fights away from a title shot.
Yes,
like he might have one more run in him, but he's got to win at least 2 or 3 more before he gets another title shot. Now,
I agree. I agree with you on that one.
Now, how about the RIZIN? Oh, go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. So, at 36, he's had 47 fights. It's like, do I want to be that? You know what I mean? I was here before. Do I want to be here? You got to wonder how much he's going to keep going. You never know. Maybe he doesn't care. But
I think he's going to go for one more run.
Maybe he's just a competitor, but you got to wonder. I know I probably can't get here again. Do I want to, unless he just thinks he can.
I bet you. I think he does.
Most fighters do.
Is the type who has enough confidence to where he thinks he can for sure.
Yeah, most fighters do. They think they can even when they're maybe past their prime, and But
that's why I was bringing up one more run.
He keeps going. Yeah,
because his post-fight comments, it seemed like he wanted to give it another shot, and he kind of seems like he realizes that he's only got pretty much one more shot. Because like you said, 36. 40 plus fights, that's definitely in the getting towards definitely out of his prime. Let's put it that way, right? Yeah. But he's still an elite fighter, as we saw. So it's not like, and this is a huge win for RIZIN Prince Akimoto. Well, go ahead.
He's not completely washed up.
Not at all. I don't think so at all. And that's why I was saying I want to say elite gatekeeper. I like your word of barometer, elite barometer, testing guys to see if they're ready to get that title shot.
Yes.
And I think he can even, if he applies himself, maybe he can even make one more title run. Who knows?
No, what I would
So
like to see is, you're tall and long, just do some body clinch takedowns and don't shoot for the legs. You're too tall to be shooting for the legs.
Yeah,
You know,
and
well,
that's
he couldn't get those clinch takedowns.
Yeah, but
Akimoto
I'm
defended
just
them.
saying that this is what I would try to improve on going
Oh,
forward if
okay.
I'm him. Yeah, I need to get to the body lock. I need to get, try to hit a throw or so. I can't shoot on legs. I'm too tall. My opponent's shorter. I'm just going to get stuck underneath. It's not like he's super athletic anyway. I'm just going to get stuck underneath, guys. Although he doesn't mind that. He pulls guard a lot, but, I just think he would be better served to try and use his height and get in on guys and try to take them down from the, upper body rather than trying to shoot on the legs and rolling over.
Yes. Yeah. But credit to Rising Prince Akimoto, he defended all those. The clinch takedown attempts, the double A attempts, all the grappling, it was incredible. Didn't even get one takedown on him. Now that brings me, what do you do next with Rising Prince Akimoto? Obviously, if his hand's not hurt, do you think he's ready for Shadalayev on New Year's Eve?
No, I don't.
No? Not yet? Okay.
Nope.
So even if his hand is not hurt, you still don't want him facing Shadalayev next, because that's what they said is going to be next if his hand's not hurt.
Now, what I would do, if these two win their next fights, I would put him in with either Rugar Karamov or Victor Kolesnik.
Oh, nice. Nice. I like it. Todd, would those be acceptable for the progression from patching of solid, very good international fighters for a Japanese fighter to beat here on his way to a title shot?
About who it is, just show me you can rip off a few, like the other guys did, and that'll get everybody's attention.
All right. Okay. Todd accepted. Todd approved here.
That's like what I'm saying. The guys that everyone wanted to see before, it's because they were beating a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Not one or two. They ripped off several, runs, and then people want to see them.
Mm-hmm. I get it. And I was
Which would be good for RIZIN if he rips off 5 wins or whatever, 4, 5, whatever. It might catch the nose of people that aren't watching RIZIN, maybe UFC fans or whatever. So that's what I'm talking about. Then maybe they want to see him. So. Yeah.
And one other thing about Gadzamatov, why not put him in with Yuki Motoya?
Sure, yeah. To veterans, man, I like that. Because Motoya, he also, man, he was so close to the title himself, right?
Yeah. So I don't see one, and maybe put Carlos Moda in with Soya Takaki.
Is Takaki a grappler or?
No, he's a striker. He's a freaking.
Oh, okay.
Striker.
Yes, I like that then. Because I would like to see Mota in a more strikers delights, because I want to see a superior rule set for Mota. I feel he has he's got the itch to throw a superior rule set. He knows the assignment. He knows that's what he wants to do.
Well, he's going to give you an exciting fight regardless. That's how he is. That's why I'm surprised RIZIN didn't just let him keep fighting.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Now,
he was getting
one more thing about
fight. Why not give him another fight? What the hell?
Yeah, they should.
Totally. I agree 100%. Especially since he's already got his visa and everything for knockout in Japan. Yeah. You don't have to worry about the visa stuff. Of course, bring Carlos Mota back 100%. And that's not just because I have him on my fantasy team for RIZIN either. But still, one more thing about this main event.
Win or lose, this guy's highly skilled. He's going to get after it. He's super aggressive. Who cares if he gets knocked out or not? He's going to go get after his opponent. If he does get knocked out, he's probably going to be winning when it happens. That's kind of how he is.
As he go on his
shield.
The
fights that he lost, he was doing great in those fights. And most of the fights, all the fights that he lost, except for the Cody Durden fight, but the other fights he was great in those fights. Not Michael Johnson, but the guy who had the weird haircut. The one who won by the Charles Johnson. He won by the twist, the Scottish twister the other night in the UFC. He had a great fight with him in LFA. It was a war, and I think in the 5th or 4th round, Johnson stopped him. And Ito was a good fight right up till when he got caught. He was fighting well, but kind of has hands low. Cody Durden fight was the only one that was kind of boring because Durden just kind of was on top and Mota couldn't get out from underneath him.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, you're not getting an argument out of me. I want Carlos Mota back in the Epic RIZIN ASAP. I want a superior rule set. The guy knows the assignment, action fighter. So, but I want to keep this rolling because I want to wrap up here. We just finished the main event. I just want to say one more thing about the main event. clearly now, RIZIN Prince Akimoto has established himself as a Japanese star, or at least up-and-coming star. Mm-hmm. This is his second event, main event, and he's another sold-out crowd. The guy is, this is why I call him the epic RIZIN Prince Akimoto, because he is in line for the throne. Once Mikuru and Ren and Hagawara, all these superstars, hang up the gloves, RIZIN Prince Akimoto is going to be right there to pick up the reins, right? I mean, the kid is he can barely drink right now. Isn't he like barely 21 or 20?
Yeah, he's 20, but I'm not sure what the drinking age in Japan is.
So he's barely 20, barely an adult. The guy has what?
I think it's 18, if I remember correctly.
18?
Oh, okay. So he can drink. He's been able to, but whatever. The point is, the guy is a young gun, and he's established himself as a rising star, if not already a star, selling out shows, main eventing. I mean, he's ready to pick up the reins and become RIZIN Prince Akimoto to RIZIN King Akimoto, and give him another 10 years, and another, like Todd said, rip off another 5-6 fights against good fights, good international guys. Maybe challenge for the title once or twice. Maybe win the title. I bet you if he wins the title, he's going to be the next superstar, 100%. And hopefully they can keep him they prevent poaching from the UFC, because UFC's going to be on him. So they got to prevent him from being poached, because he's their star of the future, 100%.
Like
yes. And thank you for bringing up Shadalayev as well, because that is possibly his next opponent on New Year's Eve if his hand is not hurt too bad. And Shadalayev they prevented Shadalayev from being poached again by the UFC. They re-signed Shadalayev to multiple fights, partly because of the Akimoto fight, partly because of the MVPFL collaboration, excited Shadalayev, and partly because they're paying him more than what the UFC is going to pay him, or what we're going to try to pay him. They were trying to lowball him. So Sakakibara-san successfully prevented poaching of Shadalayev again. And I absolutely love to see it. Please continue doing that, especially guys like RIZIN Prince Akimoto. Okay, now that was a sensational event. Oh, Todd, real quick, one last thing. That makes it 5-1 for the Japanese fighters beating very good international guys. So the Japanese guys satisfied your criteria this show. 5 times, got them 5-1. So we'll see if that can continue for Super RIZIN 5, because this next show, this is going to be one of the cards of the year, if not the best card of the year besides New Year's Eve. I mean, this RIZIN 54 and Landmark 15 were sensational with Sabatello and now Akimoto. I mean, this RIZIN just keeps getting better and better, you guys. Better, like the Landmark card with Sabatello was a hat trick of grounded knees. There was 3 different grounded knees finishes. One with the most brutal. Check out Rice Hayashi's ground knee finish on RIZIN Landmark 15, the Sabatello card. That was one of the most brutal grounded knees, superior rule set finishes we've seen in years. Okay, it was awesome. And now for this card, we got Sudario's soccer kick knockout and 80% finish rate. I mean, RIZIN is getting better and better, and now leading into the Super RIZIN 5 card, which is sensational, which is headlined by Shadalayev and AJ McKee. A genuine collaboration with MVPFL. Both belts are on the line. The MVPFL belt and the RIZIN belt are on the line. No matter who wins, they're going to be a double champion. And then also the co-main, we got Mikuru. He's become Thick Kuru. He's going up to lightweight to face Shinya Aoki, who RIZIN took away from one championship. Suck it, Shatri. And now they're going to do that. And they got the whole card is loaded. Those are just the top 2 fights on the card. Just go check out the card. It's going to be sensational. We're going to have a full preview for you guys. And that's coming up in the next week or 2, so watch out for that. Any final thoughts you guys want to talk about this RIZIN 54 card? Anything you want to say about Super RIZIN 5 before we sign off?
Super RIZIN 5 has an exceptional card, as you said. It seems tickets are selling well. I'm hopeful on that. I expect this to be a really memorable show, and I thought RIZIN 54 was awesome for the reasons we've discussed. And we'll go more. You guys will go more into depth on Super RIZIN 5 when the time comes.
Absolutely. And, Mr. Ohio, you've been a fantastic guest, brother. I would love having you on the show. Do you want to say what your favorite finishes were from 54 and favorite fights and stuff like that?
3?
Yeah, let's do 3.
Okay, favorite finishes were Ito and Gazamatov. Of course, Joji Goto, Ozzybek Temerov, and then I would say Lee Kai-Wen knocking out Mizuno, just because
nice.
I think it was a left hook or whatever it was. That was freaking brutal.
Yes, and just to be different from me, I'm going to say Joe Hiramoto blasting Jolly off his feet. I'm also going to say Ed Polo King with the brutal clinch knee. And then, I'm going to say Sudario just because of the superior rule set. You know I love my superior rule set with the soccer kick knockout.
Yeah,
and
because
for fight of the night,
brutal.
Yes. And then what was your favorite fight of the night?
Ito Gazamatov.
Okay, nice. Now, and just to be different, I'm going to say Akimoto and Clever. Rising Prince Akimoto, sensational performance against Clever. And that was my favorite fight of the night. Todd, anything else you want to add before we sign off, brother?
What I would have liked to see at Super RIZIN 5 is like a 5v5 like Eddie Hearn did in boxing. Like PFL guys, you bring 5 guys, we bring 5 guys, and let's see what happens.
They're doing that for New Year's Eve.
That would be pretty cool.
I wonder if there's budget issues with that though. Considering
maybe
because of how expensive supposedly Patchy Mix's purse is pretty damn big.
Yeah, that's why I was saying match him up with Clever instead of a lesser name guy. Basically,
no, or not Patchy. I mean AJ McKee.
Oh, AJ McKee. Okay, yeah. Well, that's because the titles are on the line, and
but
no matter what,
aren't his fees normally when he's fought for PFL pretty big?
Recently, yes. Recently, they have
been the best fighters in the world. There's no doubt about that.
Oh no doubt there is. But I'm just saying, like, there is a financial component. RIZIN can only do so much, especially with a weakened yen right now.
Right.
Well, if they were spending millions on Floyd Mayweather, they can spend millions on sensational mixed martial arts fighters. Now, Todd, what? Oh, shoot! My freaking chair broke here. But what I wanted to say about this, this stupid arm freaking fell off in this thing. I'm trying to make a point here. So, what you were saying with the 5 versus 5, that's happened before in the past, and they're planning on doing that on New Year's Eve. Remember, the Bellator versus RIZIN event was 5 versus 5. And also, the International RIZIN World Series Korea event was 5 versus 5. Japanese versus Korea.
It was 9-9.
Oh, was it 9? Okay, so that was even more than 5. But this New Year's Eve is supposed to be MVPFL versus RIZIN, and it's supposedly going to do 5-on-5 again. They want to trying to do the same thing as the Bellator versus RIZIN event. And also, to sweeten the deal, ACA is trying to get in the mix, the Russian promotion, to maybe fill out the undercard, the quote-unquote undercard, with ACA versus RIZIN matches. So it could be a double collaboration of what you're talking about there. So watch out for that in the future. Okay, guys, we've done a lot. This is sensational. RIZIN54, one of the best shows you're getting on get the replay on RIZIN.TV. This is on the Todd Atkins Network. Watch for the preview for Super RIZIN 5. We get a little mini preview. We're going to go more in depth. It's more for super fights than it is for a versus, collaboration. There is a collaboration super fight on there, Shot Alive versus AJ McKee. But the 5 versus 5 that Todd was talking about, that's for New Year's Eve. But Super RIZIN 5 is super fights, so we'll get into that on the preview show. Make sure you guys tune in for that. It's going to be in a couple weeks. And then, Mr. Ohio, people can reach you at, on the RIZIN FF Fans Discord, or, is there anywhere else you want fans to reach you at?
No, not really, because I don't do social media. I don't play that stuff.
But hey, it was actually an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, brother. Thank you. Hope you come back again sometime. And Todd, this is within the RIZIN Report, the review show for RIZIN54 on the Todd Atkins Network. I'm Jay Wolf, and it's Todd Atkins and Mr. Ohio, and I always leave it saying, "Pride never die. Pride has RIZIN," and we out.